Howdy, 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 my name's Sasuke. Welcome back to Let's Read the SP Foundation Wiki. In the last episode, we had the really interesting episode. It was just a whole bunch of messed up things. Scar tissue, mentally mutating straitjacket, placebos, memory stealing, and death pen. This episode, we're going to be starting with the Coatlicue skin? No idea how to say that. Maybe Google can tell me how to say that. Is that even a real word? It's a real word! It appears to have something to do with, somebody's gods. And it looks like it's pronounced, Coatlicue. Coatlicue. Okay. Coatlicue. Coatlicue skin, the impossible house, which I thought said horse for a second, Meteor Attractor, 1555 Bug Bash, and the ice cream truck. So, let's check out that Coatlicue skin. Oh. SCP-486 is confined at Site-17 in a 2-room cell, which may be furnished as the subject requests, provided it does not violate standard SCP procedures. The cell walls and floor should be padded and carpeted. 486 must wear a cut-resistant safety glove at all times, although temporary removal for the purpose of hygiene is permitted. SCP-486 has displayed no extraordinary physical ability or attempts to escape. Nevertheless, the subject should be guarded at all hours by any two Level 1 security personnel. Should 486 engage in self-destructive behavior, personnel on duty are to restrain and sedate the subject. If the subject manages to cause injury to herself while still unrestrained, personnel are to exit and lock the cell before contacting assistance. Description: SCP-486 is a Hispanic female, 29 years of age. The subject has black hair and brown eyes, is 158 centimeters in height, and weighs approximately 63 kilograms. I don't know what any of that means. The subject is missing her left arm from the elbow. Oh. Aside from this handicap and her condition, the subject shows the physical needs and characteristics of a normal human being. When 486 experiences an injury that would normally cause bleeding, a growth resembling a reddish-brown snake of unknown species will emerge from the wound. I wonder what that wound was. Also, does that mean when she lost her arm, it just became an entire snake? Let's see. The growth does not detach from the subject's body and instead grows to approximately 4 times the length of the snake's head before halting. The size of the growth is proportional to the size of the wound. Despite being anchored to 486, the growth appears to be autonomous and will attempt to bite any human within range, with the exception of the subject. Venom milked from the growth's fangs is clear and pinkish in color. The toxins present in the venom are similar to that of snakes in the family Elapidae, and are lethal to human beings. The growths may be surgically removed without anesthetic, as damage done to them is not felt by 486. If the growths are less than 5 to 7 centimeters in length, they will wither after a period of 12 to 16 minutes into a dry scab-like substance. Growths exceeding 7 to 8 centimeters do not wither and must be removed by level 2 medical staff who have been trained in handling venomous reptiles. The above deterioration will occur rapidly for any growth that has been removed in this way. 486 does not sustain any scars or lasting injury, visible or otherwise, after the removal. Injuries that do not result in external bloodshed, such as blisters, do not trigger the growth. In the case of internal bleeding, data expunged. I guess there's just snakes inside of their body. Most other substances produced or excreted by 486, including saliva, sweat, tears, and mucus, are normal. Examination of the subject's menses reveals data expunged. I imagine that has something to do with their menstrual cycle. Ah. SCP-486 claims that the condition only developed when she was 14 with the onset of puberty. It is unknown whether the subject is fertile. Prior to her recovery, the subject had been married for blank years, but produced no children. Addendum 1. Due to 486's condition, retrieving blood samples is impossible, as is administering any injection. Sedatives must be either imbibed or inhaled. Addendum 2. It is recommended that 208 be kept unaware of 486's condition. Document 1. SCP-486 was discovered in blank blank on blank at blank 2000 something, when the subject was involved in an automobile accident. The subject sustained broken ribs, a moderate concussion, and avulsion of the lower left arm. The growth, blank centimeters in length, proceeded to fatally bite 2 paramedics and 1 witness before agents arrived on site. 486's family has been told that she and her spouse were killed in the crash. The subject, being unconscious, has no clear recollection of the accident. Okay, so she lost her arm in the car accident, and I was right. That whole area of arm just turned into a snake. What was SCP-208? Oh! Okay, so this sculpture does not know. Which makes sense, because when I tried to Google to find out how you pronounce the thing, it turned up a picture of this thing. Anyway, the impossible house! Is it going to be fun or is it going to be terrible? Shortly after it was built. Well, that picture looks like the kind of picture that are taken at houses where the house is terribly haunted, but it's also a true story, and that's the pictures they show at the end after the family has escaped and or died. So, let's find out. SCP-487 is to be surrounded by a 8.05 kilometer 5 mile buffer zone purchased by the Foundation under the guise of a private ranch. The perimeter of the buffer zone is to be patrolled by Level 2 security personnel under orders to terminate unauthorized intruders on site. The perimeter security forces are also under orders not to enter the buffer zone under any circumstances. In the event of perimeter breach, Level 3 personnel within the buffer zone must be immediately notified. Access to 487 is only permitted to staff with a security clearance of Level 3 or higher. While within 487, all personnel are strictly forbidden to move any item unless they are under orders to do so or if it is a part of a current experiment. Any unauthorized change in the position of any of the items within 487 must be immediately logged, and all personnel within 487 must follow standard evacuation procedures. Should containment protocols be compromised, any surviving Level 4 personnel are authorized to engage the containment failsafe. This will consist of demolition charges placed outside of 487. SCP-487 is a house located in the northeastern United States in blankety-blank. The exact appearance and architecture of 487 is impossible to definitively describe, as it constantly changes its appearance and structure depending on the arrangement of the items within it. Currently, 487 appears as a significantly larger version of a Sears catalog home. Within 487 are roughly 3,294 items of occult or other superstitious origin. These items are carefully arranged throughout 487 according to the strict Feng Shui principles. Individually, none of these items show any kind of supernatural ability and are essentially normal, non-anomalous items. However, it has been theorized by Dr. Blank that these items are in such close proximity and are arranged in such a particular way that they create a synergetic energy that allows 487 to bend or even violate the rules of physics. Initial testing by modifying the arrangement of certain items within 487 appears to support this hypothesis, say Addendum 1-3. Or is that just 1 through 3? According to historical records, 487 was built in blank and was owned by various families and individuals. Through coincidence or premeditation, every owner has spent their lives collecting numerous items of occult or superstitious origin. Background checks on all previous owners reveal nothing suspicious or out of the ordinary other than the apparent compulsion to collect said items. The Foundation first learned of 487 in blank when agents intercepted a frantic call from blank blank, 487's previous owner, to a family friend regarding strange events related to 487, say Addendum 1. Blank blank was administered an amnestic and relocated to blank blank. Addendum 1. SCP-487's first recorded incarnation was a Georgian-style home. Inside, 487 contained a basement level that was significantly larger than the building's blueprints indicated. Further exploration revealed an expansive maze of hallways, rooms, and doors with no discernible pattern. Exploration was temporarily halted when a researcher was separated from the expedition team and did not return. Search parties eventually found the researcher's camera intact. Analysis of the footage showed that the researcher had grown hopelessly lost and become convinced that 487 was stalking him. The researcher's remains were also found later, cause of death determined to be self-inflicted neck injury. Further exploration discontinued. Addendum 2. After the accidental movement of Item 254, the basement area disappeared without a trace. Shortly thereafter, all modern electronic and mechanical equipment within 487 ceased to function. However, when taken outside, all affected equipment began to function normally. Machinery and other technology powered by industrial-age sources, i.e. steam power, still function normally within 487. Addendum 3. 487's current incarnation as a Sears catalog home came about as the result of moving items 405, 772, 1056, and 2001 according to a certain mathematical pattern. 487's dimensions now seem to be expanding at a rate of 0.3 centimeters, 0.12 inches per month, necessitating the removal and relocation of the containment failsafes. Researchers have reported hearing groaning and growling sounds around the perimeter, though this is attributed to the stresses on 487's structural materials as caused by its expansion. Addendum 4. After the unauthorized removal of items 991 and 1074, tracking satellites detected a massive accumulation of thermal energy just beneath the Earth's surface, centered around 487's general location. The anomalous readings immediately dissipated once the missing items were returned to their original locations. So it sounds like, taking items out of the house will make something happen to the planet. Interesting. they should probably just destroy the house. Meteor Attractor. Maybe the Meteor Attractor is the house. It's probably something else. But, due to the small size of objects leaving 1, suppression of public dissemination of knowledge regarding 48 is sufficient for containment in the foreseeable future. 2 is housed in a reinforced bunker at a depth of 50 meters near the military proving ground at Redacted. Triple redundant seismic sensors are in place to record meteorite impacts in the vicinity and must be tested daily for functionality. In the case of impact of meteorites above 0.5 meters in diameter, the structural integrity of the bunker must be inspected, and 2 move to a backup bunker located 500 meters to the south via underground tunnels if repairs are necessary. Description: SCP-4881 is a location near Earth's L4 Lagrangian point. I hope I said that right. Though direct observation of the location show nothing stationary to date, objects ranging from half a meter to 12 meters in diameter will spontaneously appear at this location and immediately accelerate towards the Earth. Composition varies slightly from object to object, but are consistent with rocks of extraterrestrial origin, and do not appear to be artificial. Most of these objects disintegrate and burn up in the atmosphere, but a meteor of sufficient mass to impact the surface will strike every 6 to 12 hours. 2 is a 26-year-old Caucasian male identified as blankety-blank, a resident of blankety-blank, before his voluntary containment with the Foundation. 2 is physiologically normal in all aspects apart from heavy scarring acquired from his anomalous property. To date, all objects positively identified as originating from 1 have been recorded impacting within 100 meters of 2, determined via extensive experimentation involving relocating 2 between secure Foundation sites. 2 has shown no particular ability to resist damage from these impacts, and in fact first came to the Foundation's attention when he was hospitalized on blankety-blank 2000-something after a .47 meter meteorite destroyed his home, killing his wife and infant son. 2 was voluntarily contained shortly thereafter, and has remained in Foundation custody ever since. 2 was unaware of how this property manifested or exactly when it started, but that he first noted an anomalous impact approximately 6 months before the blank 2000-something incident, and increased in regularity and severity until the incident occurred. 2 was usually cooperative with the Foundation researchers, but suffers from severe depression and paranoia regarding his condition. 2 was required to undergo regular psychiatric evaluation as well as the regular administration of antidepressants and sedatives. Contingencies are being developed should the objects originating from 1 continue to increase in size until they are a threat to containment and suppression of public knowledge. These contingencies include, but are not limited to, the possibility of euthanasia of 2. I feel like that's not going to work, and it might just, attract meteors to his body unless they destroy his body. Now it's time for 1555 Bug Bash. SCP-489 is held in a containment unit at Site-113. To prevent personnel accidentally bringing insect life into 489's cell, a shower room has been established outside of the containment cell. Personnel will change into the clothes provided to them after cleaning. Testing with 489 is limited to indoor spaces. SCP-489 is a roughly dome-shaped conglomerate mass consisting entirely of objects used to kill or repel incidents, e.g. aerosol pesticide cans, bug zappers, fly swatters, footwear, and lighters. Each item is capable of independent, autonomous movement, though they usually move around the ground as a whole when in motion. As of June 17, 2013, SCP-489 measures roughly 5 meters in height and 8 meters in diameter when at the base. There is a badly damaged transit van in the center of the mass, which contains a human skeleton sitting in the driver's seat. The skeleton's ribcage has been crushed. A faded scratch logo can be seen on the right side of the van, which reads, Extreme Extermination Services. We'll bash any bug, big or small. Call 1555 Bug Bash. When an insect or any species come within 5 meters of 489, it will surge towards the animal and attempt to kill it. Of note is that 489 is heedless of other non-insect organisms should an insect be on or nearby them when attacking, usually resulting in severe injury or death should said organism or organisms fail to move in time. However, due to the number of objects moving at once, 489 often fails to reach the target at all, instead of having individual parts impede one another's movement. If 489 fails to kill the insect or insects, individual items on 489 become hostile to one another and begin hitting objects adjacent to them. When not in the presence of an insect, 489 is relatively docile, making study of it easier. Should 489 successfully terminate an insect, objects capable of handling it safely, e.g. tweezers, shovels, etc., will retrieve and pass the insect along the edge of 489 towards the storage space of 489. During this time, it becomes possible to see the transit van without imaging due to the items moving out of the way to open the doors. The storage space of the van in 489 possesses extra-dimensional properties containing dozens of rows of glass jars stored in wooden shelves. Every jar is full of various dead insects. If presented with new objects that would be considered bug killers, 49 will readily attempt to incorporate them into itself. However, this habit makes its goal of exterminating insects even more difficult with the newly acquired mass. Newly added items immediately show signs of sentience. When new items are introduced into SCP-489, other items will enter the van's storage space and bring numerous jars containing disproportionately large specimens to the front of the storage space. These samples appear to serve as trophies for 489. Each jar is labeled with a date and how the insect was obtained. New added items will gather around these jars in apparent admiration. Below is a list of several specimens 489 has presented, which we will not read because I'll click it. The savage spine-shooting beetles, the walking lance, the aquatic venomous floater bug, the bug man, the bug that killed Master. The Master fought hard, but he finally met a bug he couldn't kill. We fought for him and made it suffer, but we couldn't save our leader. Description: a wooden case with several pinned non-anomalous butterflies, beetles, and dried earthworms. Our first kills after Master's death obtained February to April of 2001. We will carry on Master's work. Okay, so what are the rest of these? The beasts were terrorizing the village of Lathos, 1989. Found roaming the jagged rocky mountains of Jerinth. Its bladed legs felled Karen and Matthew before a well-aimed shot from Maxwell skewered his head. A new challenge, one that took place beneath the waters of the Burmese swamplands. We have the scars to show for it, but the beast fell after the puncturing of its venom sacs. A humanoid entity 1.8 meters in height with eyes and proboscis resembling a housefly. The Bug Man! Found within the frozen hills of Russia. Well worth the battle and losses, Theo and the Torch's sacrifice will be honored by all bug killers for eternity. Description: an arthropod with 4 thick, short legs all spreading from its abdomen in a circle. Creature has large, elongated pincers and has a head featuring a prominent proboscis and compound eyes, height 4 meters. Okay, so, that was interesting. And that brings us to the ice cream truck, which is safe, and it's parked at a gas station during transport to the site. SCP-490 is to be maintained in Storage Garage 17 Golf. Garage 17 Golf has been heavily soundproofed, its door replaced with a soundproof door with an interior code lock. 490 is to have all 4 wheels disabled through standard parking boots, and is to be kept chained at all times to 4 molybdenum eye bolts, sunk a minimum of 3 meters into a solid concrete floor. Description: SCP-490 is an ice cream truck dating back to the 1960s, constructed by blank. It seems to be mechanically standard except for the audio system, which does not respond to operators, though it appears to be in working order. The key to the vehicle is fastened in the ignition and cannot be extracted by any means. It can be driven, fueled by a diesel engine originally made for the truck, and functions properly in all ways compared to other vehicles of the same model. Between 2 to 5 AM local time, 490 will operate itself and drive at a low speed in a random circuit through local roadways. At this time, it will function as if in peak condition while playing a tune from its speakers. The tune has not been identified, but resembles music played on non-anomalous trucks of the same make. However, the tune never stops, and no portions can be identified as of yet. Recorded portions do not carry the anomalous effect. Any individual who hears the music will start advancing towards the vehicle, ignoring any instructions to stop. Upon reaching the vehicle, the back doors of the truck will open and the person will step inside with the doors closing behind him or her. The doors become sealed and it's possible to open by regular means, and if tampered with, data expunged. Okay, this one it says safe. If there are multiple subjects affected, then each will line up and wait for the doors to open again, or until the 3-hour window has elapsed. Subjects outside the vehicle when the time elapses will wander away in apparent confusion. When interviewed, they appear to have no memory of the event. After 5 AM, 490 will lose its abnormal ability and the back doors can be opened. Any person that entered into the truck during the time the music was playing will have vanished. The freezers will have been stocked with frozen treats, though the treats will contain traditional flavors. Chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. The wrapper advertises a surprise flavor. The super surprise flavor stated is human flesh incorporated into the product, which DNA testing has proven to be that of the subjects who entered the vehicle and subsequently vanished. Discovered in blank, Massachusetts, 490 was discovered in the parking lot of a bank, from which it was then towed to an impound yard. The object had a parking boot attached to it and therefore could not escape. Shortly after the disappearances of several residents from the nearby trailer park, a team of Foundation agents were sent in to investigate. Discovering the truck and its contents, the team paid the fine for it and drove it to Site 17. During the trip, it activated, causing the death of all team members except for Agent Blank, who was driving the team's vehicle and realized what was causing his teammates to become entranced. Protocol A Blank was initiated and several more agents equipped with ear protection arrived. 490 showed aggression, and when blocked by several Foundation vehicles, started ramming into them and the agents trying to capture it. After an hour and 43 minutes of chasing 490 through back roads, it deactivated and was moved to site blank on a flatbed truck. And it says, a popsicle composed out of basic sugars and human blood, a product of 490, a photo by Agent Stephanie Shih, which goes to dessertsforbreakfast.com. Where am I? This looks like it might be a Tumblr. Happy Runeberg Day! I have moved and taken up a new job, and now I'm back in place with... Why did it bring me here? Seriously, why did it bring me here? In any case, that about does it for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to start with the Wrecking Light and go up through the Thingmaker, which... Thingmakers that I know of are basically the creepy crawlers that my dad grew up with, but Thingmaker on this website might make actual horrible creatures. Maybe the Thing from the 1980s movie. Maybe the Thing from the remake of the 1980s movie. We won't know until the next episode. So, this has been Anashi Sasuke. This was episode 108 of Let's Read the SCP Foundation Wiki. If you liked it, a like and a subscribe will be groovy. If you didn't, you don't need to do either one of those things, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later!